Joe was talking about because of the protocols, it might be hard getting a substitute player in for special teams, let's say kicker or punter. Who are your emergency guys? Can Riley kick? Can Gano punt?
Yeah, Graham Gano was a punter in college. Not only was he a punter in college, he was an outstanding punter in college. Yeah, we got protocols in place. We got a lot of great athletes here that can do a bunch of different things. It's amazing what you'll find when you start to look. You know, these guys have been stud athletes their whole life. You know, we got a plethora of guys that can snap. We got a ton of guys that can kick. We got a bunch of guys that can punt. So if we ever get caught in a pinch, I don't think it'll be an issue.
Who are some of the well-known guys we don't know, or some of the guys we don't know about who might be the guys you put in there?
Well, Tom, just know we got a few guys. We got options. And, you know, again, guys are very talented, and they work their tails off. And we've done a good job as a staff just identifying those guys. And just know moving forward, we got to operate. If that comes up, we'll be prepared for it.
Thank you.
Tom Rock.
Just to follow up on that real quick, is that something that you go through every season, or is that sort of because of the special circumstances of this season that you're looking for, sort of looking under every rock?
We always try and, you know, identify guys because, you know, a lot of these guys haven't done some of these skills since high school. So you just never know because you're always looking for backups in emergent situations. But this year more than ever, you know, you want to do a better job of identifying guys and just trying to turn over every rock and, you know, see what kind of skills everybody on the roster has so we can maximize the roster from the top down, bottom up.
And then Cody Core, you lost him since last we spoke. What does that mean to your unit?
You know, it always hurts to lose a guy like Cody. Love him to death. He's very productive for us, but it gives opportunity for the next guys to come up, see who can step up and take his spot. You know, and it's always the next man up. So we just got to keep rocking, keep moving forward, and we'll see where we end up.
Thank you.
Pat Leonard.
Hey,
T-Mac, some of the guys, hey, how you doing? Some of the guys who might fill the gunner role, you know, David Sills, Alex Bachman, Austin Mack. What kind of skills do those three in particular have that can help you on special teams or that they've shown you so far?
Well, anybody who plays that position is going to show first the propensity to be able to run very fast. That's the key to that position. You got to be able to navigate space in a hurry. And that, you know, all those guys are out there working. They're all doing a good job. We just got to find out throughout the process who can do what and who's going to do well at it, who has the most upside.
Also had a question about when you coached against Joe Judge, you know, special teams coach against special teams coach, what did he do well, you know, as far as being his competitor and how you prepared for him when he was in New England?
Joe did a great job of attacking your weakness, and he'd make you play with your left hand, you know. And his guys were always super prepared. And they always had a veteran group that you knew they weren't going to make any mistakes, and that's what you knew when you were going against New England. They were going to be disciplined. They were going to play fast because they were going to have a great unit, and they weren't going to make any mistakes. You had to beat them. And, you know, it was – you knew going against Joe's units are always going to be prepared in detail.
Thanks.
Yep.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Good. I want to ask you a couple of things. When you talked about – you were just talking about Joe for a minute. When you talk about smart players, he always talks about smart players. Do you sense even more of an emphasis this year on having smart players, coaching them smart, and as a second to that, you know, you're the only coordinator on this team who's not from the Ivy League. So do you guys talk about your shared experiences and, you know, the value of smarts among the coordinators as well? Absolutely.
You know, it is extremely important that obviously we understand what's going on and how we want to implement it. But it ain't about what we know and how smart we are. It's all about what the players know and how you can teach it. And to me, that's the most important thing. It's getting the information to the players where they can digest the information and then give it back to you. And that's the most important thing, being able to execute on game day the information that's being given into the meetings, taken to the field, and being applied during the course of a game.
And do you sense from the two coordinators that are both Ivy Leaguers? I mean, do you get a vibe that these guys, Ivy Leaguers are supposed to be a little different, that there's a good intellect there? Yeah,
absolutely. Jason and PG are very, very sharp men. And when you're around them, you get that. When you have conversations with them, you get that. So, yes, the Ivy League education has definitely jumped off the screen to me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ed Valentine.
Hey, Thomas. I don't think we've talked to you since Graham Gano was added to the roster. Just thoughts on what Graham brings and being reunited with him again.
Graham brings a stability to the position. Obviously, former Pro Bowl kicker and just a veteran player in this league. And he brings experience, he brings leadership, and he's a good person. And Graham is, I'm excited to have him here. He's been really good for our room, even in the short time that he's been here. And, Graham is Graham. He's just a good man. He works his tail off. He's a professional, field goal kicker. That's what he is. And he goes about his business the way he's supposed to. And, hopefully once we get rolling, he's going to be his old self.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Art.
Hey, T-Mac, how you doing?
Hey, Art, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm just curious. I don't even recall us asking you about Kreider when you guys obviously signed him in free agency. What does he bring to that position? I mean, obviously it's a franchise who hasn't really been looking for a new long snapper for a while. What did you like about his game? And I know we're not really analyzing him much, or at least we aren't in the summer, but what do you like about him?
Casey's a veteran player. He's been around. He's a good man. He works his tail off, and he's exactly what you want in a long snapper. He's consistent. He does his job, and you want him to be, seen and not heard.
When you guys were out there considering what holes to fill, was he a guy on top of your list if the front office came to you looking for recommendations?
Yeah, absolutely. Casey's a solid snapper. And again, he's had experience in the league, and we just look forward to getting all three of those guys together and becoming the best that we can possibly be.
Thanks.
Yep.
Patty.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
Hey, Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Just going back a moment to Cody Core, you've always had a core group of special teamers, and, just in listening to Coach Judge and Jason and Pat, they talk about mixing and matching guys according to the competition, the opponent that week. Is that something you think you're going to be doing a lot more of on your unit as well this season?
We're always looking to find a way to get an advantage on the opponent. Who knows? This is a new season. This is a different situation with the COVID and all of this stuff. I mean, it's just different, So who knows what the season brings, Pat? We just gonna keep working hard, keep doing what we're supposed to do, evaluate the guys that we have, keep trying to get them better, and we'll see where we end up.
From a special teams perspective, though, does it make sense to have a core group that you run out there at the same positions every week, or does it give you an advantage to kind of maybe mix it up a little bit?
Any time you can create continuity, that's what you want. But sometimes you got to make do with what you got. And for me as a coach, that's my job. As a special teams coordinator, that's my job. That's the essence of my job, is to make the gumbo every week. And sometimes it might be chicken gumbo. Sometimes it might be shrimp gumbo. It might be crawfish, whatever. I mean, it's just whatever I have for that week is that what you have to work. You have to work it out. So that's the process of being a special teams coach in the NFL.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
All right, we got time for two more. Jordan and Tom Rock. Jordan.
Hey, T-Mac, you really sound like someone who spent some time at LSU there for a second, But you mentioned before, Joe, his groups are always veteran groups. He's not going to be a guy, I think we know, that is afraid to put veterans and even starters out on the field on special teams. He puts a premium on it. So what does that mean for you for punt return options? And what do you see from those guys, namely your wide receiver group pretty much?
Well, we've had starters out there before. I mean, last year we had Jabril, last year we had Golden. So, that's a playmaking position. You're trying to put guys back there that are going to make plays. And that's, to me, that's no different than the quarterback position, the wide receiver position, the running back position. You're trying to put guys in a position that you want to make plays. And that's, the game has come down to, primarily punt return to get the most plays doing those two. So you want to be able to maximize the field position by being able to make plays and put your best players back there.
Do you have what do those guys bring you though? I mean, specifically, I guess Sterling, Golden, Darius. Consistency.
Golden was great for us last year. He did a heck of a job fielding the ball and getting the drive started, with a first down. When we got a chance to use the grill back there, he did a good job for us. So, it's just that process and just using those guys and being able to have access to them is huge.
Last question here, Tom Rock.
Hey, Mac, I don't think I've seen many live or even half-speed kickoff return in practice so far. Is that something that's concerning? Because obviously you want to see what you have back there. And is that also something that we'll see more of probably on Friday at the stadium, do you think?
Well, you'll see more of it moving forward. As part of the evaluation process, we want to ramp these guys up. We won't just throw them out there. And, we are trying to get them into shape, but we want to be smart in how we operate too.
And you think the kid Leak from Maryland, is he an option there at kickoff return?
We got a bunch of options. We got at least 5 or 6 guys that are out there working, and he's definitely one of them. He's working his tail off. But again, all those guys are out there doing a good job, and we just got to see where they end up. And we're going to ramp that up here pretty quick.